Holy crap, you guys are back with another video with that PS guy. And we are getting into some nostalgia today. We are getting ready to play what is possibly one of my favorite video games of all time, and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. And I am excited and could not be more ready to play this. So here we go. I guess we're going to go with the North American version. English. Start game. I think it's cool how the collection got all the different variations of the game on it. That's pretty cool. Blue Point Games. Oh wow, that's old school right there. This game came out in 2011. That is crazy to think about. It makes me old. We're gonna act like it's my first time playing just because it's been so long since I played. We are gonna lower the difficulty a little bit just so that I can play and enjoy myself.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Man, David Hayter's voice, man, it just sends chills down my spine and takes me back to a time that just, wow.
Altitude 30,000 feet.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Gotta crack a open drink. Bottoms up.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask.
One of my favorite things to do when I was younger would be light a cigar and just play this game. Hideo Kojima makes such long cut scenes that you can just sit there and enjoy a cigar. I'll stop talking during cut scenes now.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Wonder if that's an actual brand of cigar.
Checking oxygen supply.
Look into that.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch. Temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout model.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay, all green.
The world's first Halo jump.
5,
person who performed the first one had to have been scared out of his mind.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Hell yeah, mate.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why'd he want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th.
I love how Hideo Kojima
President Kennedy received word that
tied
the Soviets were in the process
real
of
world
deploying
events
intermediate
into
range
the
ballistic
game.
missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no
Can't stay
strategic
long.
value
Hope you're
whatsoever to
doing
either
well.
the US or the Russians. The Turkey
I
deal was a
appreciate you
ruse,
checking in. I
a
am
cover story
doing
that was
great.
fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice.
Hope you're doing
President
well with
Kennedy
you.
gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handed him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the
I'm
verge of
okay,
completion.
been going through a lot these past few months, but I got this.
No.
You definitely got
Missiles.
this, and I'm sorry to
Same
hear you've been
technology.
struggling.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new
All you
kind
can
of
do is
nuclear
take it one
device.
piece at a time.
For half a
You
year
got
now,
this.
the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino-Yarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us.
Hell yeah.
Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino-Yarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy.
Called
It's
a
been
skyhook.
combat proof.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talent?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast,
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Yep. That iconic stance, man. They start every game with it. Let's see him. Where's our boy? Let's see him. There he is.
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No. There's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be
Back in the day
gun
when
shoot.
the action button was
My
triangle.
frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
That's an awful lot of information for them to be given out over radio. Right. See how much of my instinct comes back in this. So far, so good. Still feeling pretty natural. Yeah, I think we're doing okay.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the
Are
survival.
you excited for the MGS remasters?
Yep, that's right.
Oh, I could not be
Survival
more
is
excited. That's
fundamental
why
to
I'm
this
playing
mission.
this.
After you've been out in the field for a while, your
I'm even
stamina
more
will start to drop.
excited that they actually got
stamina
David
gets too low,
Hayter, the
it'll
original
affect your
voice actor, to
performance.
come back and do it
You won't be
again.
able to shoot accurately, for
For
example.
me, there's no
and
other
your
way to
wounds
do it.
won't heal as smoothly.
The graphics look great.
Keep
The
an eye on your
gameplay
stamina
that's
so
out
you
for it
don't
so
run
far
out.
looks really good.
To recover
I
lost
could not
stamina,
be
you
more
can hunt
excited.
for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
Hush
That's
puppy.
right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire.
David is
Once its
amazing.
durability reaches zero, the noise suppression effect will be gone.
I agree. He's definitely
So don't get
amazing. I
too
hate that he
trigger
doesn't
happy
do
with it.
more
The suppressor's
work outside of
durability
Metal
is shown
Gear.
in the icon.
And as much as I
Any
do
weapons
love
and
Kiefer
equipment beyond what you're
Sutherland, I
carrying
hate
now,
that they replaced
You'll
him.
have to find as you
I
go.
hate that they replaced
I have
David
to find
Hayter
my
with
own
him
weapons
in
and
Metal Gear
equipment.
Solid 5.
Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know
So
you're
that's a
there.
bad thing.
This is a
Got it.
stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But
If
be
you'll
careful.
give me just a second, I'll
If you
be
remain in a
right
state
back.
of
I've got to
false
bring
death
my
for too
dog
long,
in real quick.
Nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
We're back and haven't missed a single
Speaking
thing.
of snakes,
Long
you remember the
cutscene.
boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear
Kojima
your
loves
voice.
his cutscenes.
It's been 5 years.
He really does
72
love his
days and
cutscenes.
18 hours.
I've heard a lot of
You've lost
people around
weight.
him tell him that he
You
really
can tell
should look
just by
into
the sound
doing
of my
movies
voice.
because
Of
that
course
really
I
is
can. I know all about you.
his great passion
Really?
in life is movies.
Well, I don't
he
know
loves
anything
movies,
about you.
and he loves translating
that
that
supposed to
style
mean?
into a video game.
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
Which I think
was on a
personally that
top
can be his
secret
greatest
mission.
strength, but also
You
it
didn't
makes
need me
him
anymore.
very convoluted
But
in
there
a
were
way.
still so many things I wanted
But
you to teach
a lot
me.
of great creators
No.
get like that.
I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing.
I'm sorry
I
if
can't
the
teach
audio
you how to
with
think.
my microphone
You'll just
sounds
have
really
to
bad.
figure it out
I'm using
for
the audio in
yourself.
my headphones
Listen
right
to
now
me, Jack.
instead of setting
Just
up my
because
actual
soldiers are on
microphone.
the same side
I've
right
just
now
been a little lazy
doesn't
today.
mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a
Oh, good.
living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You are a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake? Oh, right. Your code name is Snake.
You would think she would know better than that.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Alright, I need to get ready to head out of the house. Have a good day and rest of your stream.
Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and see you next time.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
See ya.
Yeah. If you're watching this at a later date or coming on in, I am a guy that is gonna watch his cutscenes, because I am mostly here to, these Metal Gear Solid games are a complete package. They're fantastic gameplay, but they also have a really, really good story. And in order to get the true effect of a Metal Gear Solid game, I think you got to be able to enjoy it all. And, yeah. Alright. Just trying to remember my bullets here. Yep, I think we're good. Alright, come on, get up.
Major. I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the Camo Index. The Camo Index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Alright, camouflage index. What do we got here? Face. Let's go for it. I feel like we're in a Predator.
Huh? I hear something. There's nothing here.
Got him in his booty.
Who's that? What's wrong?
Oh crap. Come on.
HQ respond. This is HQ. Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
Boy, did I ball that up real good.
Over there?
I can totally see you, Trophy. Love it. I was not paying attention. That was a rookie mistake, man. Rookie move, rookie move.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. And do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
I got a shotgun.
Huh? Who's that?
Got him. Long cut thing coming.
You must must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. The man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
I have a message from him.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem.
So Volgin doesn't have him at this point. That's one part I was always confused at first time I played this game. We're not rescuing him from Volgin as if we're just rescuing him from Russia.
Out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America is truly a frightening country.
Is it possible
No.
that they actually expect us to understand that while he's speaking English to me so that I can understand it, and this conversation between the two of them is actually taking place in Russian? Or did he speak Russian
Major,
in a moment that I
this
didn't
is
understand?
Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I managed to get past them.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
He got some science karate he getting ready to do.
Freeze!
They really have upgraded the sound game. They've really upgraded the sound game in the HD version of this. This will be the first time I've ever played it. But then again, it'll also be the first time I've ever played this game wearing headphones, so.
We meet at last.
I'm a man who's a fan of sound design.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Ocelot, one of my favorite characters in the MGS.
He's the Ocelot commander.
That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Nice shooting, Tech.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss,
Two
are
legends
you?
right here, man. Two legends.
GRU operatives?
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Major!
Man, the dude's a whip.
Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
This is just awesome. I'm
You
so
ejected the
nostalgic
first
right
bullet
now.
by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do. But testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
I'm having a blast, guys. I'm apologizing if I'm not giving a whole lot of commentary, but I'm just focused and enjoying myself right now.
You okay?
Hey, that PS guy. Can't stay long. Hope you're doing well. Kojima loves his cutscenes. All good. Alright, I need to get ready to head out of the house. Have a good day and rest of your stream.
And we got
See
some of
ya.
the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
The Shagohod.
That's what they were making you build.
Yes, the Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain.
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo.
The origin of Metal Gear.
Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2.
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go. Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets?
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Huh?
He's seen my face. We can't let him live.
Why does it matter if he's seen your face?
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished.
I guess that's why.
He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him. Jack, you can't come with us.
I get the impression that he knew what the boss was gonna do here. That's why he reached for her hand. So that I refuse to believe that he's that naive. I feel like he knew the boss was gonna throw him over the edge.
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, on to Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah, just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
Major, the boss, she's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button and surgical treatment using the weapon window button. Your injuries include a fractured left elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely.
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Just go through and letting them all until they actually recognize. And we're good. The voice acting in Hideo Kojima's game is just amazing.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
It'll still chilled down my spine after all these years. It's probably been over a decade since I played this game. He looks emotionally broken. I can't wait to see Volgin in the remake with all the scars and everything on his face. I think it's gonna look really cool.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death.
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. Spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
It won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
That's messed up. We're supposed to believe that Snake was that close to what was effectively a nuclear bomb. And he's good? this